Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. Today I have a maybe 30-minute kind of yin yang restorative, a little bit of everything in there. You will need some props, as is often the case with restorative. If you have a bolster, oh, mine's off screen. If you have a bolster, in fact, if you have several, I would definitely highly suggest that. Blankets are good. I actually have mine already in front of my mat. You can't see it. I have it a little bit in front of my mat because we'll be working with the wall a little bit. That is another prop that you need, although if you don't have a wall available, that's going to be fine. If you have a chair in the room that you're in, that is awesome. I don't, so I will be showing you options that you can use. A couple blocks, as many blankets as you need, and if you don't have a bolster, maybe lots of pillows. So go ahead and grab all those props, as many as you can, and pause the video. Welcome back. Take a nice, easy seated position for you. We're going to be using a mudra for our opening posture, and I'm going to show it to you now so that you can then close your eyes down. Very, very simple. Take your pinky fingers together and then take your thumb fingers together and the rest of the fingers reach out. And this is called Lotus Mudra. It's done in front of your heart. I've used this in several videos. It's one of my favorites. And I particularly love this moving lotus meditation. It's a riff on this from one of my teachers. And all that's going to happen is you'll inhale and push away, push your hands away. And as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart and back into Lotus Mudra. So you'd be pushing away on an inhale and exhale, bring it back. Okay, come to an easy seated position for you, wherever that may be. Normally I'd say you can lay on your back, but it's going to be very hard to do that mudra if you want to. If you don't want to and you prefer to lay on your back, that is perfectly fine as well. If it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. If not, shut them down as much as is comfortable for you. Let them get a little unfocused. Basically, you're drawing your senses inward, trying to go inward. And just take a few breaths here. You can either breathe in and out through your nose, or breathe in through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth a few times. And after you've done that, then begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Seeing if you can make your inhales match your exhales. And relax your face and your shoulders. Soften your eyes, your jaw, your neck. Feel the support of your seat on whatever you're sitting on, whether that's a cushion, a chair, your mat. Feel very, very supported there. Feel your spine growing long out of your pelvis, maybe wiggling up a little bit while still relaxing your shoulders. And chin may tuck just a little bit to lengthen your neck, keeping it in line with the rest of your spine. And go ahead and bring your hands into Lotus Mudra. Pinkies and thumbs together, the rest of the fingers reaching out in front of your heart. Inhale, push away fear. Exhale, bring in love. Inhale, push away fear. Exhale, bring in love. Inhale, push away anything that's no longer serving you. Exhale, bring in love. Inhale, I am not good enough. Exhale, I am good enough. Inhale, push the fear away. Exhale, bring in love. And let your hands come to stillness in Lotus Mudra. And slightly bowing your head over your hands. And then just let your hands drop into your lap or onto your thighs, whatever feels comfortable for you, while keeping your eyes closed as I explain what we're going to do today and read a poem. We are working on our kidney and bladder meridians today. And those are the meridians that help us to let go of our grief and let the love in. They may also help us to focus more, to concentrate more. On a physical level, we're going to relax our back and our pelvis. We'll start with some gentle movements and then move into just a couple of yin/restorative postures. So even though it's going to be a relatively short practice, the holds will be longer. And I'd like to read you this poem from the book Gifts of the Rain Puddle by Beth Kurland, my new favorite. Not that I don't love me some Donna Ashworth, because I do, but this poem is very appropriate. The title is Feeling Fear, or Facing Fear. Today I sat with my fear. Frankly, I would rather have checked my emails or folded laundry, yeah, not me, or gone for a run. Yes, that is me. I coax myself to sit in the room with it. Heart racing, worry thoughts cascading and all. And something interesting happened. I was able to see all of those old, vulnerable parts of me, all of those places from my past, spilling over into one giant heap of fear. And all I could do was send some compassion to myself. Bring myself back to this moment over and over. Even as my mind wrestled with me to reside in past and future, feel my feet on the ground and know that in time, this too shall pass. And one of the things I love about this poem is when you don't run away from your emotions, they begin to get smaller. What we fear is that if we allow ourselves to feel, the feelings will become so huge, so large, they're just going to devour us. While the opposite is actually true. When we sit in our emotions, when we allow ourselves to feel our feelings, they get smaller. We realize they're not as fearsome as we thought they would be. And that's something I'd like you to keep in mind as we're moving through this practice. Slowly go ahead and bring your eyes open. Come off whatever you're sitting on. And as I said, I need to demo a few things in this practice, including this first one. So this is what we'll be doing at the wall. But since you can't see me once I'm at the wall, I'm going to demo it first. You're going to take your legs into a tabletop position. So your shins are parallel to the ceiling. Feet are flexed. They will be flexed against the wall. And on your inhale, you will allow your pelvis to rock forward a little bit. And exhale, you'll allow it to come back. Inhale, a small arch in your low back. Exhale, the low back begins to straighten out. So go ahead, if you have a wall, go ahead and join me. If you don't have a wall, you can just take your feet to your mat and do pelvis tilts that way, okay? Since I do have a wall, I'm going to turn towards it. I'm going to grab my blanket to cushion my head. I'm going to wiggle away from a little bit. There we go. So now my feet are against the wall. My shins are parallel to the ceiling. Inhale, allow the back to arch a little bit. And exhale, allow it to tilt backwards. Inhale, pelvis tilts forward. And exhale, pelvis slowly tilts backwards. Inhale, slight arch in your back. And exhale, slowly curling up without leaving your mat. Just keep going on your own pace and on your own time. And notice how you feel. Notice any emotions that are coming up for you, any fears in particular that are coming up for you. Just allow them to come up and notice if, when you feel that feeling, when you allow it to be, when you invite it in and you don't judge it, does it slowly lose its grip on you? And are you more in the present moment? Okay, we're going to do a couple more here. And then we're going to let that go. Last one, forward and back. And then slowly let the knees fall down towards your mat. And roll onto one side, taking your hands to the floor or mat and slowly bringing yourself upright. If you have a bolster, actually, let's start with a cushion. If you have a pillow or a cushion, I want you to place it into the upper third of your mat. And if you have a bolster, I'd like you to place that on top. Take a blanket, fold it up a few times. This is going to cushion your head. Now, if you don't have a cushion and a bolster, what I want you to do before I get into that particular variation, I'm going to take the bolster horizontally across your mat, sit on top of it, slowly come down onto your elbows, and a little slower than that, come all the way down and come into a supported bridge pose. And in fact, if this is what it calls to today and this feels good in your body, this is what you can do. Otherwise, take a pillow or a cushion, take your bolster on top of that, get your hips close to it, and slowly get your back onto it. And I really don't need, maybe I do need my blanket. But what we're trying to do here is open up through the heart, as you can see I am, and let the head come back down a little bit so that it's lower than your heart, so as you're coming into an inversion. We're going to be here about 5 minutes. And when I say that, what comes up for you? Does some fear come up that you could never stay here for 5 minutes? And what happens if you just sit with that thought and you don't judge it? What do you feel in your body? You're about halfway through. And what emotions have come up for you as you've held this pose for about 2.5 minutes? Did you feel any fear arising? Maybe you felt a little frustration. Why am I in this pose for so long? Just allow those thoughts and those feelings to come up and pass away, just like the clouds pass over the sky. For your last minute, to allow whatever comes up, no judging, and breathe. Last couple of breaths. And slowly begin to roll on over to one side, bringing your hands out to support you. Slowly rolling off your bolster or pillows or whatever you happen to have behind you. And ask yourself how you feel now. And I can tell you, I feel like I could have stayed in that position for a lot longer. I feel so relaxed after the end of 5 minutes. I could have definitely stayed another 5 minutes, but we are moving on to our final pose, which is a variation of Shavasana. And for this, I will suggest that you have 2 blocks. And it's going to take a little setting up, as most restorative poses do. This is also, if you have a chair, this is where you can use a chair. So first I'm going to show you the block and bolster variation. Blocks are roughly hip width apart. Bolster goes on top. I have my little pranayama pillow, and I'm putting that on top. What we're trying to get is to have our legs in the same position that we did in that opening posture when we were at the wall, and our shins are parallel to the ceiling. So, your shins are going to go on top of your pillows. And this is, once again, trying to find a position where you know you can stay and be comfortable and supported for 10 minutes. I am challenging you to stay for 10 minutes. And this is almost another inversion. It could be another inversion. You could not have anything underneath your head. You could have your head lower than your heart again. And I invite you to do that if you'd like to. You could also do legs up the wall. That's another variation. You've seen me do it quite a few times if you've been with me before. You would take a bolster by the wall, just a few inches away from the wall. You would sit on top of that bolster towards the end and slowly swing your legs up the wall. It's a little awkward to get into, and again, you would need padding for your head if you're on a hard floor. Awkward to get into, but very comfortable when you're there. So the benefits of restorative yoga. A couple of the benefits are that it may reduce your blood pressure and perhaps your glucose as well. And one of the biggest benefits of restorative yoga is it allows your nervous system to calm down. So when you talk about being really, really stressed and you really wish you could just rest a little bit, this is what you need. This will do the trick. Now I realize if you're very anxious, just getting into a position like this and being in it for 10 minutes may seem like a really tall order. It may bring up some fear or some anger or frustration. And that's where you sit with your breath. You allow those feelings to come up. And then you let them go. And as you do that, you realize that everything passes. And bring your attention to your body. Notice if you're clenching any muscles. And see if you can just breathe into that area and allow it to soften. Next, bring your attention to your breath. Yoga without breathing is just stretching, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you can get so much more out of it when you begin to bring your attention to your breath. Your breath is a clue to how you really feel. Begin to feel your bones feel very heavy. Feel them dropping towards your mat. Feel the support of the earth. Even if you think you don't have anybody who supports you, the earth is always there, always ready to support you. Let your breathing deepen even more. Feel how the previous posture helped to open up the space around your heart. And that spaciousness helps you to take fuller and deeper breaths. And now with your eyes still closed, begin to take whatever movement you need, wiggling toes and fingers. Taking your face over to one side and then over to the other, and maybe back, forward. Inhale your arms up and over your head. Really, really big stretch. Reach one arm up and then the other arm up. And slowly, if you have your legs up on something to support them, take them off that support. Begin to curl into a little fetal ball on one side. Keeping your eyes closed, if they are. Take a few deep breaths here. Really feeling your ribs move out side to side on the inhale. Coming back together as you exhale. And slowly, still keeping your eyes closed, begin to push yourself upright. Coming into an easy seated position again. Hands are on your thighs or in your lap. Eyes are closed. Take your attention to your breath. And give yourself some gratitude for showing up today, for showing up in your very, very busy life, and giving yourself some deep, deep rest. I'll be honest with you, the reason I created this particular practice is I woke up this morning and I didn't feel good. And I knew what I needed today was some rest, not moving. We don't celebrate resting. We go against nature, really, against the seasons. We think if we're busy enough, if we do enough, then maybe we'll be good enough. While the truth is, you're good enough just because you're you. And that is a simple truth. And I hope that you can feel that. Take that out into the rest of your day. Take the palms of your hands together in front of your heart and begin to rub them back and forth. Getting a little movement, a little heat back into your body, and then stilling your hands in front of your heart, slightly bowing your head over your hands. And remember, as the poem says, whatever you're dealing with that you feel like running away from, it will pass. It's the only thing certain in life, change. And slowly blink your eyes open, taking in your mat, and the rest of the floor. Letting your arms fall down to your knees, maybe looking up with a smile on your face. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. Help me reach more people with free yoga. And go ahead and subscribe if you want to practice with me again. So much gratitude to each and every one of you. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from fear. And may you feel loved.